The city lights glimmered like scattered stars outside the high-rise windows of Lexington Tower. It was past 10 p.m., and the office floor was nearly silent. Only the soft hum of a copier and the occasional ring of a distant phone interrupted the stillness. Emily Carter sat at her desk, organizing folders with the kind of precision only an executive secretary could master. Her blonde hair was tied back in a loose bun, glasses perched on her nose, and a half-empty coffee cup cooling by her laptop. She wasn't supposed to stay this late, but then again, neither was he. "Still here, Emily?" came a voice from behind. She turned. There stood Alexander Cross, CEO of Cross Tech Industries, and her boss. He was tall, impeccably dressed in a charcoal suit, the top button of his shirt undone, tie loosened, and a subtle air of exhaustion behind his sharp features. "Finishing up the quarterly reports," she said with a small smile. He walked closer, eyeing the papers on her desk. "You've been working non-stop this week." "So have you." Their eyes met. For a moment, neither spoke. There had always been something there, unspoken, restrained, a quiet tension that existed between stolen glances and late-night meetings. Alexander leaned against her desk. "Want a drink? The good scotch is still in my office." She hesitated, then nodded. "Only if you're pouring." His office was dimly lit, the city skyline painting soft shadows across the room. He poured 2 glasses of scotch and handed her one. They sat across from each other, but not far. "You ever regret taking this job?" he asked suddenly. She looked at him. Why would I?" He stared into his glass. "Because I've seen the way you work. You could run this place if you wanted to." She laughed softly. "Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm serious. You're brilliant. You always know what I need before I even say it." Their eyes locked again. Emily swallowed hard. The line they never crossed suddenly felt thinner. "You don't make it easy to stay professional," she admitted. He raised an eyebrow. "Neither do you." There it was, truth, raw and hanging in the air. She set her glass down. "We should probably go home," he finished, but he didn't move. "Yes, before we—" He stood up slowly and stepped closer. "Before we admit what we both feel?" She looked up at him, heart pounding. "Alex," he kissed her, gently at first, then with the urgency of 2 people who had waited too long. The sun filtered in through the windows, casting golden light over the tangled sheets. Emily blinked awake to find herself in Alexander's penthouse, his arm draped over her waist. Panic flickered for a second, but it faded as he stirred beside her, eyes meeting hers. "Morning," he whispered. She smiled. "So, that happened." He chuckled. "It did, and for the record, I don't regret it." Emily sat up, wrapping the sheet around herself. "But we work together. You're my boss." "Not this morning, I'm not," he said. "Just Alex." She shook her head, grinning despite herself. "This is going to complicate everything." "Maybe. Or maybe it simplifies it." Back at the office, things were different, but only in the smallest ways. A glance that lingered too long, a smile that meant more. Whispers among co-workers started, but nothing concrete. They kept it professional. Meetings were still sharp, decisions made without distraction. But in the quiet moments, late nights, shared elevators, and secret texts, their connection deepened. Emily found herself opening up in ways she hadn't with anyone before. Alexander was more than a boss. He was kind, funny, vulnerable in private. He shared stories of his upbringing, his father's expectations, the loneliness of success. She told him about her dreams, her fears, and how she never imagined falling for someone so unavailable. Everything unraveled on a rainy Tuesday. Alexander's ex-fiancée returned, not just into town, but into the company, as a consultant. Her name was Victoria, and she was everything Emily wasn't: polished, pedigreed, and obviously still in love with him. Emily tried to stay professional, but the late night dinners, the closed door meetings, it all hit too close. That Friday, she packed her things. Alexander found her by the elevator. Emily, what are you doing? I can't do this, Alex. It's too messy. I care about you, but I won't compete with your past. There is no competition. It's you. It's always been you. Then why does she have a key to your office? He looked wounded. I didn't invite her back. The board did. That doesn't change anything. The elevator doors opened. She stepped in. If you want me, really want me, you'll figure it out. Days passed. Emily ignored his calls. She stayed home, trying to forget the way he looked at her, like she was H,